Hey, Ginger, how you doing? This is TC Stallings.
Hi, TC. How are you doing today?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Um, Tired but good. Just it's not Friday, but it's okay.
You ready for interview though, right?
Oh,
You got
I'm
that
so
interview
ready.
energy?
Oh, I,
Okay.
I've been looking forward to it for so long. You know, this
hmm
is one of those things where you and I have almost ran into each other a few different ways, but um, I'm so glad to finally talk to you. Uh, I've been friends with Ty for a while on Facebook and talking with him, but you did a film with one of my closest and dear friends, Jen Gotson, or Jen Gotson Chandler, I should say. You did Unbridled with her and my friend Rachel Hendricks. So I was like, I've enjoyed watching everything from Courageous and War Room. But I've been itching to talk to you for a while, so I'm so excited that you're on, and I'm so excited about the movie because I got to pre-screen it, so I've already seen it. I like it when I've already seen the
Oh,
movie, so I can actually give you real feedback.
excited, ready to go.
Well, I talked to Ty yesterday, and he said, "Ask TC if he thought I was for real that I was gonna write him into this movie."
So yeah, I didn't think that he was serious right off the bat because you get this all the time where people say, "Hey, I wrote something for you. I got you in mind, and I'm gonna send it your way, and we're gonna
Yeah,
shoot this." And then it turns out that they're not ready, or they have ability to sing, or it's just not going to be a project that takes off. So I enjoyed our conversation because, like I said, he came up to me and we had just met, and he laid everything out. And I was flattered and everything. He said I was doing a good job on set with a question of space. And but he said, I'm gonna email you the script. And I said, all right, man, I'll be on the lookout for it. And I meant that, but I wasn't holding my breath. And then the script came rather quickly. It was just a few days, and we read it. And I always read it with my wife, who's also my manager. And we read the script, and we were just like, wow, this is something else. So I was pleasantly surprised when he actually came through with it, and it was as good as it was when we finished reading. It was like, wow, he really played into it.
and by the way, speaking of your wife, she is lovely. She is so pretty. Just making sure
Thank you.
that's out there. She is gorgeous. You make a lovely couple. She seems to be extremely supportive, which, as much as we can brag on you, nothing happens without wifey. So, just
Oh,
saying.
absolutely. She's fantastic. She's fantastic, and that's why she's my manager. Nobody knows me better than she does. And we come June 9th, we will have been married 20 years,
Oh,
and it's
wow.
yeah, she's fantastic, man. And you're right. We don't work well without each other at all. We really truly fill each other's gaps, and uh, I go as first and foremost as God goes, but he uses her, in amazing ways in my life. Just as a wife and a mother, but also as the manager of what we do. So she's fantastic, man. And once she reads the script too, and I always like to get her perspective. And she cries tears. And says, this is gonna be good. And she was right. In terms of we love the story. We love everything about it. So it's great.
Yeah, and Jeff Rose actually he was sitting by me during Jen's wedding, so I knew who Jeff was already. I'd known him, so like I said, it just a lot of different. You have that several degrees of separation. It was getting smaller and smaller, so I knew I'd eventually talk to you. I love this movie. I will admit I cried through the whole thing pretty much, but like not always sad tears. There was like heartwarming tears. There was kind of celebratory tears. I mean, there were some sad tears too, but it had several different levels of. I was telling Ty yesterday I had a cousin take his life about 5 years ago, and he had PTSD really bad, and nobody really understands unless they live with it or live with someone or love somebody that has it. It is, and I know that was a part of the layers of the different messages, and I like that's what got to me. That, and of course the faith aspect, for sure. I was excited to see people like Keisha and Joey Lawrence. I mean, he got some, and I tell you what, that pastor that was singing, he needs a
Mm-hmm.
career. Like he sounded like Larnell Harris up there. I was like, I will tell you how I referenced to you. My son actually watched this with me, and I told him, I said, you know who he reminds me of? And I said he's like my faith film Ernie Hudson. I actually got to know Ernie through a film he did with Jen, and we met at Comic Con a couple times, like, 'cause, he brings the Ghostbusters thing up there, and you can carry off, like, if you're not smiling, you have a great authority look and authority voice, but then as soon as you smile, it's a total opposite, like immediately, like, and that's how Ernie is when he. That's why he gets all these FBI roles, and you got the cop role and Unbridled. I mean, like you can pull off that very well. There's I do like to see that it's boy, when you get intense, and I'm not, no spoilers, but when you got intense during the film on more than one occasion, I mean, I was gripping my seat right there with you. I mean, you were stellar. I know every good gift comes from God, I know that, but you're a willing vessel and you've got the chops. I was so glad to see you in this, and in a starring role, in the way that you got the light shine on you for your ability to act. You have an incredible gift, and I want to hear about you on the set, and like what filming this was like.
Well, first of all, thank you for all the kind words. Like I said, I was really grateful that he wrote a role in which it required me to have so many different levels and different aspects, just to show some range and really have fun with the character, from the rough parts to the little comedic little things and the sensitive things. It was just a nice range of emotions, and that's always fun to do. But for me, on set, it was great. Just simply being the lead character. You get a chance to act with everybody, so that's
Yeah.
always great. I had scenes with everybody there, and each scene required a different emotion in a lot of cases, and so it was great meeting people that I had grown up watching at a time where I wasn't even thinking about being an actor. I was
You're
thinking
did
about
is
being a
at
pro
any
football
point were you going like, it's Rudy? Like, that's hard for me to ever get away from Rudy Huxtable. She's so cute.
right,
She still has that
right,
face,
yeah,
but yeah.
yeah. It's funny too because I know she's probably hears that all the time. So
Yeah.
you don't want to keep saying that so loud. I just I told her the same story I told a lot of people about, like, the cast. A lot of the cast were members of shows that were popular sitcoms growing up, and you know to sit here and every single scene, when I switch scenes, I just go to another sitcom star from my childhood.
Oh yeah.
And I found that to be pretty neat, to be in a situation where you are, surrounded with that much talent, which makes for a good film, because people are professionals and been doing it for a long time. So, that made it fun. And but yeah, but just when you will leave, you have a lot of lines. And you're there every day, and every day's purposeful. It's not a whole lot of sitting around and waiting for your turn, because you're kind of busy every single day, and you get to interact with everybody, and including the extras. And so it was fun, especially just reading everything and then seeing it all come together. Like I said, with all that talent, and the crew did a great job of just taking care of everything. So yeah, it was just great from start to finish. And this was 4 or 5 years in the making. So to see it finally out, it's just a blessing, being with the things that we're dealing with in terms of COVID and other things that are keeping people out of theaters. It's just nice that some people are getting to see it, and hopefully down the road, a lot more people will be able to.
Literally early on, I was like, um, Coach Carter, that's him. That's Robert, like from Coach Carter. And I was like,
Right.
you two played off each other very well in both the playful, like, just the bro time, and then, but the intense
Mm-hmm.
times too. I mean, I was like, this is some of those scenes with you and him were just uh, incredible. I want to know, is this, I mean, is this film in particular, was it kind of emotionally exhausting? Because I certainly got that way just watching it. It just seems like you would expend so much emotion, and good and bad. I mean, like both types.
Yeah, it was. It was. This is for me emotionally. You know, this is the most challenging film that I've ever had. You know, and I tend to get those type of characters. You know, whether it's TJ from Courageous who loses his mind a lot of times, or even in War Room, the Tony Jordan character didn't go
Right.
off the rails a lot, but he's crying a lot and just turning his life around and everything. But this guy had to deal with trust issues, and he had to deal with the PTSD. He had to deal with the lack of faith. He had to deal with military life. He had to deal with just so many different things. His mother and when people just see that he's challenged in all these areas, seeming like every 6 seconds of the movie he's challenged in one of these areas. So to have to display all of that in such a grandiose type of way, and then you gotta that's just one shot. You gotta do it again so we
Yeah,
can get the other
exactly.
actors coverage, and then you gotta do it again so we can do the wide coverage, and then you gotta do it again so we can get the overhead shot. So you're doing this intense, scene over and over and over and over again. By the time you're done with it, yeah, you're emotionally spent because you want to be believable. So you kind of stay in that mode. Every now and then you can come out of it, but if it's really serious, you want to kind of stay in it so it won't be hard to get back in it. So yeah, you come home after a day of all of that, and it's just like, wow, let me unplug. But then you wake up in the morning and you get right
Yeah.
back at it with another tough scene. So yeah, it was taxing, but I knew to be authentic, it would be worth everything that went into it. And people who've had PTSD and people who've been in the military will see it and appreciate what they saw. And that was always the goal. And hopefully that's what's happening around the country and around the world and wherever people are seeing.
And to me, it was kind of like watching your character, like, go from a cocoon to a butterfly, because you saw him do all that struggling, to go through it. It was just this metamorphosis of him going from grief, and dealing with things like that, to go into um, this place of questioning where he needs to go and where he needs to get his center back. And but then at the end, of course, that the real transformation of where it comes from, it was so beautifully displayed for this film. And I really have to say, it was one of those movies that I think everybody can, you can watch it, and whether you know military life or you don't, um regardless, there's so many other layers to this friendship, and people that how to get out of, they don't know how to get out of something, whether that's the grief or the situation they're in. And this movie shows you exactly this character. You will follow him, and he does several different things, and changing. I will tell you, it was such a delight to watch, even for the hard parts of it, because I think it's hugely important in the military, especially that aspect. I honestly thought maybe you had been in the military. You have that military kind of look about you, but I didn't know, and I don't know if other people know, that you were not only a football guy, but you were on Animal Planet's King of the Jungle, and you were the winner of like season 2.
Yeah, yeah, that was it. Yeah, I have no military experience at all. No PTSD experience at all. I literally had to go and watch a ton of interviews and YouTube videos and read articles, and like I had to really go to school and all of that stuff. And Ty being from a military family himself, I was able to obviously know how to look and how to wear a uniform and how to carry yourself and your mannerisms. I looked online at all of that stuff too. The grooming standards, the clothing standards, because they take that stuff extremely
Oh,
seriously. And so for
absolutely.
me, again, I just wanted to be authentic to it. And but yeah, in 2004. That was my first time ever even being on television. Was actually with Animal Planet at a reality competition for a show called King of the Jungle, and yeah, it was just a fluke whim type of thing where I wanted to even audition for it. I just said it'd be fun. If they pick me, they pick me. If they don't, they don't. And I ended up getting on the show, and that turned into something that I hadn't necessarily planned for, but uh, that was like a 10-week grind.
uh,
And, you know, it's the elimination style show like
right.
Survivor, except for it's based around animals on Animal Planet. And their season one was a hit, and so they came back for season two, and I was selected, and I went on there, and I outlasted 11 other competitors and won the show, and
Oh my
ended up
gosh.
filming my own show in Brisbane, Australia, um, on Animal Planet. It was a 1 hour special. That's what the winner got, and that's kind of where the acting bug bit in terms of, you know, wanting to be on a set and do things, because you don't do any real acting in reality. It's just, you know, scripted type stuff, and the rest is reality. So it's
Right.
just whatever happens happens. But you still, it is scripted in terms of where we're going to be, what time things start, and you start to get the whole flow of what a production is like. And that was my first time being on a major production, and they flew you out of the country, and I started to see all the opportunities that could happen. And I was like, man, this would be cool if this would be something I could do for my career. So it was in '04 where the bug bit, and you know, and then I kind of just took it from there a few years later. But yeah, man, this was all new for me in
And you've
terms of
now
the shows
taken
and
this
stuff.
into
And
like a producer thing. You did a self-produced
yeah,
documentary. And now you have it is, do I have this right? It's I was trying to see the name of your company. What is the name of your company? I don't have that here.
well, my
Is
personal
that
company
TC
was
Productions?
Team TC Productions and Purpose Studios.
Okay.
That's the full name, and that's where we did 24 Counter. The story behind the run. That's like my first self-produced project right there, and my life like a testimony from a part of my life from my college days of playing football. That is having an impact that I'm really really happy about. Just for the people who've seen that, and now I'm executive producing for PAX TV, and that's our network that's going to be launching, you know, as an app that you can download
The
and watch
streaming.
content with the sole purpose of streaming with the sole purpose of leading people to Jesus, and we'll be global and in 5 languages. And so I'm going to be looking for people to be a part of that in terms of you know, writers, directors, filmmakers, other actors looking for a place where they can drop their talent and drop their gifts there. And we are targeting people who do not know Jesus, and so it's gonna be fun because it's one of the only apps that are doing that. So you know, when you're not watching your Netflix or your Amazon or your Hulu or whatever you're doing, there is one app where the whole sole purpose is to lead people to Jesus, and all the content will be geared towards that. So you can use the PAX TV app, so that'll be coming soon. So I'm really excited about that.
Well, I'm excited to hear that because I want, I think this is something where I've read you're very much a proponent of getting clean entertainment out there, because you can still
Right.
deliver an incredible, heart gripping message. You can have action movies. You can do all of that and keep it clean and bring the faith message in there. I mean, obviously you've been through a couple of the big ones, War Room and Courageous. I mean, and I loved you in Unbridled. I really, my family breeds quarter horses, so that film was so beautiful to me. But um, I just thought, you were just, I mean, I don't want to ever make you angry. Like, you can pull off that, like, stern look. And although I'd want you on my side if anything ever went south, I just thought, I was like, you've been at, you just, like I said, the person it reminded me of was because I got to know Ernie Hudson a little bit, and you kind of reminded me of him. So next stop is Ghostbusters, I guess. So you gotta, just kidding. They shouldn't redo that again unless they had all those guys back in there. But
Right.
it'd be nice to have some more comedies. I would like to see you in a comedy. That needs to be one of your next things. So it's for the people who want to go see the movie, it's mbkfilm.com, And where can they find out more information about you online?
Yeah, so my website is www.tcstallings.life, Life. And as far as social media, just look for the verified pages on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Real TC Stallings on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm just TC Stallings on Twitter. And I got a YouTube page. Just again, that's my official YouTube page. Just search my name on YouTube, and I put videos up and stuff. And then that's pretty much it. And I love for anybody who's seen the film, just come and kind of let me know how you enjoyed it. Hopefully you did. And just keep me in your prayers as we continue to just, I just want to use my gifts for God's glory. That's what I'm going to keep doing. And I'm enjoying it. I'm just grateful for whatever you get. And you start praying for that comedy movie to come.
I am. Like, I see you there. Yeah, I'm praying for that because I think you could pull it off extremely well, and it'd be fun to watch you like kind of play on that sternness and a comedy. I just think it would. I think it would be really hilarious. Well, I'm excited for whatever.
See me being myself. That's what ends up happening.
Is that who you are most of the time?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
You'd be seeing that wouldn't be a stretch at all.
That would be more like a reality TV for you.
There you go.
Well, I'm so thankful. I know you have a lot of stuff going on at once, and I appreciate you taking time out to talk about the film. It was fantastic. You were epic. I mean, I know I don't like to praise people as, above God or anything, but because God pulled this off, but you were fantastic, and I was glad to get to see you stretch your wings as an actor and be able to do several different types of scenes with different types of actors. So it was a wonderful movie, and you were wonderful in it. And go see it in theaters if you can. Keep the theaters alive. And otherwise, we can, thankfully now, if people aren't able to get out of the theater, then they can, buy the movie, rent it online, all those kinds of things. So I'm excited to see the incredible things that come out of this, and especially people coming to know the Father through this whole thing. So thank you, TC, and tell your lovely wife I said hello, and she's wonderful, and I'm praying for her because she's got to keep this going.
Yeah, she's fantastic, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate all your kind words, and thanks for everybody who supports the film. And hopefully we'll see you at that comedy when it comes out.